All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Akim out there laboring of the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I pretty much want to speak about the trip that Tucker Carlson recently had made going into Russia, Moscow, and pretty much going there to interview uh, Vladimir Putin. And pretty much, he had a lot of pushback about going there. Okay, he had a lot of pushback from the government. He had a lot of pushback from a lot of the pretty much the pundits, so to speak. But he pretty much had this trip, under wraps. But pretty much, he was being spied upon, well, which he had found out, and pretty much, at the end of the day, he was still able to pull this trip off. Okay, and this was pretty much, a unprecedented interview. Okay, because it's been a very long time since a Western journalist has in earnest interviewed this man. Okay, and really interviewing him with the pretty much being in a objective type of manner. Because a lot of people pretty much was trying to clown Tucker Carlson, and he's one of the few journalists out there that pretty much speaks the truth. You see, but they have this right here. This is this YouTuber here, which is pretty much landbacking on Tucker Carlson's trip to Moscow, and he's going to the same places where he had went. Now, one of the particular places that he went to, I think he had went to a burger joint. This might be McDonald's or something like that. Another one was the supermarket, and pretty much you can just see the writings on the wall, man. You see the prices are pretty much, the dollar's still strong, but you see where the value of what you can get, okay, and when you have the narrative being looked at with this place, with this Russia being in the middle of a war right now, okay, and the United States pretty much putting sanctions on them, you would pretty much think that this place would be down in the dumps, so to speak. But this place is pretty much thriving through this war, man. Okay, you see, the ignorance of the American public would have you think that this place is nothing more than a gas station with that produces nuclear weapons, man. You see, okay, but you're seeing now, and really how you had the likes of Bill Maher, Jon Stewart, and the platform of the Young Turks pretty much clown Tucker Carlson on the fact is that saying that he was a Russian fanboy for pretty much showing the things that he considered to be beautiful and nice. You see, but he was really only doing it to shame Babylon, okay? Because the places that we see here are in Babylon are pretty much decaying, man. Okay, when you talk about the depleted infrastructure, okay, when you compare this to these other cities around the world, right now there's no comparison, man. Okay, and it's pretty much done by design, man. These pretty much these politicians are not doing anything to pretty much clean this place up. There's no money being spent on the infrastructure of this place, okay, the filth of this place, the potholes, you see, okay, the dirty subways, the pretty much the migrant problem, the what do you want to say, the mental health conditions that are going on, along with the homelessness, you see, and you have these large outdoor encampments that you see in your different cities, and you see that this place is on a major decline, man. Okay, but he pretty much was just showcasing the stark difference, man, between the two superpowers, man. Okay, and pretty much nobody is taking account for it, man. So, but I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna just hit the little points on it, and we're gonna just hit the scriptures. So, without any further ado, and by the way, this is uh his name is traveling forget this individual's name. But pretty much he's pretty much landbacking on the places where Tucker Carlson had went on in his stay in Moscow. So without any further ado,
seating area up here. It's much quieter. There's less people, and I can actually eat my cheeseburger in peace and relax and warm up a little bit. So in literally about 3 minutes, my meal came. Now, I couldn't just order a cheeseburger like Tucker Carlson did because I'd be hungry. So I actually got myself the big hit meal, which is basically the Big Mac meal. So you get the burger, medium fries, and a drink. And of course, I got Tucker Carlson's cheeseburger right here. We're going to taste that in a second. And if you're curious, the price, so the actual medium big hit meal and the cheeseburger came to 402 rubles, which is just about $4.40 US. And that is...
Did you hear that? That whole meal, okay, now when you look at the meal that he has here, okay, he actually has 2 burgers there with an order of fries and a drink. And it came out to $4.40 US. Now, okay, this pretty much is pretty much a standard with that, and it's pretty much not a big deal of money with their money exchange, so to speak. Okay? But this type of meal, we can't even be able to eat for $4.40 in a place like this, man. You know, and you know, really, you know, if you 2024, man, you know, you got demons on you in McDonald's anyway. But just the point to make is that $4.40 wouldn't even be able to get you a meal like that, man. Okay, all right. So pretty much right now, who's thriving right now, man? You see, who's thriving right now? You see, all right. Let me get a scripture real quick. Okay. This is well, you know what? Let's switch gears real quick because I was gonna bring out the Jeremiah, but let's go with Obadiah real quick. I want to snag that real quick, right? Obadiah, verse 8. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? And pretty much, man, this is what the Lord is doing, man. Okay, all right, because pretty much now people are getting pretty much hip to this man's actions, man.
Is the medium meal.
And pretty much, you know, when you talk about the sanctions and pretty much, you know, you're trying to bring this place down to his knees, you know, in the middle of this war with Ukraine, and pretty much, man, is pretty much backfiring, man. Okay, pretty much backfiring, man. These people do not have really a care in the world, man. They're not living in fear. They're not living in pretty much in a decayed infrastructure, so to speak. You see? All right? And we're going to see that right now. All right? So let me just fast forward it real quick. Okay? Because this is what the Western world is pretty much shut out and seeing things for themselves. So let's continue.
Standing, and we're going to walk on inside the metro here. The lady's waving to the camera. And we want to go and see Kievskaya metro station, the very famous blue line of the Moscow metro. Let's get in inside and check it out. I wonder if he had his Troika card to get on the metro. We just need to tap it right there and head on through. Let's go and have a look at this station and the platform, which is really the part that I think a lot of people like to see when they come to this particular metro station. The one thing that is difficult when you come to the metro is trying to make a video and stay out of everybody's way, because people really are going somewhere, and it's always polite just to not stand in everybody's way. Have a look at all the marble that makes up the walls of the station here. It's really quite something. Now this...
You see that? And what station do we know in Babylon that got marble, pretty much marble walls from the ceiling to the wall, to the floor? You see? Okay? You see, pretty much now, this place has not really invested in their infrastructure, man. Okay? And we're seeing it, man. We're seeing that this place is decaying, man. Okay? And you having the world pretty much see it for themselves, man. Because this place have not been a great host to tourists, man. All right? People are still coming here on tourism, but when they come here and experience these different places in Babylon, they go back to their home country with a bad report, man. You see? All right? Let's continue.
This is one of 300 stations here in Moscow. So there is a lot to choose from to come and make videos in. If anyone wants to see more of the Moscow Metro, let me know in the comments, and I can certainly film more videos like this. There's just so much to cover. Have a look at this mosaic that wraps all the way around this upper lobby before we get down to the platform. And these columns as well. It almost feels a little bit like you're in Rome or in Italy. Then of course the metro is very well known for its very deep stations and these long escalator rides. You can see everybody coming up on the opposite side there, and then they'll have 2, 3 or 4.
Hey, a subway vestibule in New York would be cut literally, that ceiling would not even be white. That ceiling would be probably black soot on it and full of graffiti, man. You see? All right? You see how immaculate this place is being held up, man. You see where where a leader would pretty much, the rule of the people, man, and how he's ruling, man. Okay? Although the political system is totally different from how we are, but crime is crime, man. And pretty much, if you're able to pretty much improve the quality of life, the rule of the people have the power to do so, man. You see?
Or open depending on the time of day. And as we step off onto this landing, you've then got the option of splitting off to different lines. So we've got the blue line on the left over there, and then the brown line over here. Have a look at this plasterwork, I think is the best way to describe it. And these metal fretwork.
And mind you, a lot of these stations, this particular station was built in the 1940s, man. Late 30s, early 1940s, man. Okay? And you see how pristine and much and kept up it is, man. Okay? You see? You don't have pretty much things falling off the wall and cracks in the infrastructure, man. You see? All right? But from there, let me just want to grab something real quick. That's really the point I wanted to make there. Now I want to play a couple of shorts from Carson Tucker when he's at a forum, an open forum, and this is right off the heels of that trip and with that interview from Vladimir Putin. And this forum is in Dubai, and pretty much this interview pretty much was in the sight of the nations. And let's get a couple of takes from what he was saying.
Are you anti-American model?
No, I am the most pro-American. So I'm 54. I was born in 1969. I grew up in a country that had cities like Moscow and Abu Dhabi and Dubai and Singapore and Tokyo. And we no longer have them. And what I have discovered is that's a voluntary choice. My children don't smoke marijuana at the breakfast table. Why? Because I won't allow them. It's very simple. It's a short conversation. No. And you can run your country the same way. We're not going to put up with that. So don't do it. And people understand that. Filth. Graffiti. Paris, one of my favorite cities. New York, one of my favorite cities, are filthy. Part of the reason they're filthy is because people spray paint obscenities on buildings and no one cleans it up. London, another one of my favorite cities. You see English girls begging for drugs on the sidewalk. If I'm Boris Johnson, who briefly and very badly ran that country, I would ask myself, like, wait a second, my countrymen are begging for drugs on the street. Maybe I should do something about that. But no, he'll show up and give some speech about Ukraine and how we need to send, more cluster bombs to the brave Ukrainians. What are you doing?
Are you anti?
And pretty much, I want to play that one, and then I'm going to play one more, and then we're going to hit the scriptures.
And the most radicalizing thing I would just say for me in the 8 days I spent in Moscow was not simply the leader of the country, who of course is impressive. It's the largest landmass in the world. And it's wildly diverse, linguistically, culturally, religiously. It's hard to run a country like that for 24 years, whether you like it or not. So an incapable person couldn't do that. He is very capable, and many of you know him and you know that. What was radicalizing, very shocking and very disturbing for me was the city of Moscow, where I'd never been, the biggest city in Europe, 13 million people. And it is so much nicer than any city in my country. I had no idea. My father spent a lot of time there in the 80s when he worked for the U.S. government and barely had electricity. And now it is so much cleaner and safer and prettier aesthetically. It's architecture, it's food, it's service than any country, city in the United States that you have to, and this is non-ideological. How did that happen? How did that happen? It's radicalizing for an American to go to Moscow. I didn't know that. I've learned it this week. To Singapore, to Tokyo, to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Because these cities, no matter how we're told they're run and on what principles they're run, are wonderful places to live. And the most radical...
And that's the thing, though, because, this place is pretty much closed off on the perception of a lot of these places, man. You have to be somebody that's pretty much well-traveled, man. And travel with a passport, man, to go to a lot of these places, man. And a lot of these trips are not cheap, so to speak, man. Okay? And the ignorance of the people here in Babylon, man, they would have bad perceptions of these places, man. All right? You see? All right, let's get a scripture real quick. Let's go to Jeremiah 51, because that form, he was speaking in the sight of the nations, man, and pretty much, and he just telling the truth and how it is, man. This place is not what it was, man. Okay, you see, this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. And now you're seeing the nations pretty much now, this man has pretty much imposed his will on the nations, man, where he would oppress a man in his heritage, oppress a man in his culture, and instill his principles upon that place, man. Okay? And now if you didn't comply with that, all right, you would get sanctions put on you. You see? All right? But you're seeing it now where the Russian economy is thriving because now they're pretty much aligned with the BRICS, man. You see? And their currency is backed by gold. You see? So the economy is strong. The shelves in the supermarkets are full. They're getting there's no short of supply of anything that they would need. Okay? They're getting, imports from all over the world, man. It's not stopping their commerce, man. Okay? You see? All right? These things have backfired, man. You see? All right? But people have drunken of the cup, man. You see? All right? Because why? It's about people, this place was a place of beauty. People wanted to take on and partake in the decadence of this place, man. Okay? That's what drew people to this place, man. And still, this is a consumer-based society, and people are still pretty much partaking in commerce and getting rich off this place, man. But the infrastructure now is pretty much decaying, man. Okay? And we're seeing, everybody sees the decline of these cities, man. Okay? And it's something to what can actually be turned around, man. But it's purposely being done. You see? Okay? It says, verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Right? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies, man. And pretty much people are fleeing this place, man. Okay? when you look at the comment board and what people are speaking about, man, people are really speaking about the how displeased they are with the city which they live in, man, because this is a nationwide thing that's going on, man. Okay, you pretty much got people that are pretty much wanting to move out of the cities, man, and move into rural areas, man. Okay, to really get away from the decaying cities, man. Okay, because the crime is on the rise and it's not getting any easier, man. You see? Okay. All right. From there, let's go to Habakkuk. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. Start at verse 9. Woe to him that coveteth with an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. And this man is pretty much coveting everything. You got the farmlands being bought up. You pretty much are taking over the resources. You see, okay, and then pretty much you are setting yourself up for these last days, man, to really what? To really get away from this evil, man, that's coming, man. Okay, when you got these people buying these pretty much these bunkers and pretty much moving to these remote islands to get away from what? To get away from the evil that's coming to this place, man. You know, and they surely know something is coming down the pipeline, man. Okay, this place has turned into something that is not good, man. The writers are on the wall, man. You're seeing the large influx of migrants, and what's happening? They are emptying the dregs of their populations. These different countries, man. They're unleashing them. They're emptying their jails, man. So the worst of the people are already coming here. So you're seeing how these migrants are only here for maybe a couple weeks, man, and they're already getting into the life of crime, man. Okay, you pretty much have gave them sent them to a large metropolis where they can pretty much blend in, with the population, of what 9, 10 million, and blend in and pretty much can get away with a lot of these heinous acts, man. You see? Okay? It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people. This man has cut off many people, man, because now the people that was pretty much aligned with him, his policies have pretty much, pretty much hit them at the knees, so to speak, man. Okay? You pretty much have cut off many people, and it says, and has sinned against thy soul, man. Okay, this man is not an upright person, man. Okay? He's not thinking things through. His counsel is pretty much failing him, man. Okay? You see? All right? And it's all, and it's all for the name of getting power, man, and control. You see? It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. You see? Okay? And pretty much, man, you're seeing this place is waxing old very fast and decaying, man. Okay? Zero money is being spent on infrastructure in this place, man. They much more are taking this money and spending it on foreign policy, man. You see? All right? Okay? It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity, man. And that's always been his MO, man. Okay? His MO has been that, man. You see? Okay? To build a town with blood, man. Okay? For him to be able to take over certain resources, man, blood had to be shed, man. You see? It says, behold, is it not the Lord of hosts, that the people shall labor in the very fire? The people shall weary themselves for the very vanity. And you see the people now are they're getting sick and tired now, man. You're starting to see the rumblings though, man. Okay? But really, the rumblings that the people, the murmuring that the people are having, here in Babylon, is really falling right into their hands. You see? Because this is what they want. They want you to complain, man. Because once all hell breaks loose, man, they're gonna come in with their solution, man. You know? You see? All right. So this man is pretty much got these people in the snare, man, and pretty much got them lined up, man. You see? All right. From there, uh let's go to Isaiah real quick. Isaiah chapter 47. It's going to read the first two verses, right? Because you got to lament for Babylon, right? Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, man. You know, and this place is looking like a filthy harlot right now, man. Okay, in the sight of the nations, man. You know, you're seeing what's going on, and even when you look at the local news, okay, and what's going on here, this place is on a big stage, man, and it's set there for the world to see, man. Okay, and pretty much when you have a journalist, okay, and they pretty much, man, they really wanted to really get into the head of and get the backstory with Tucker Carlson, and that's what they actually did, man. Okay, that trip really was for the simple fact of that interview that he had in Dubai was just on a simple fact of they wanted to get a little insight on that interview, man. Okay, because you got these nations are pretty much posturing themselves, and a lot of these nations that were there, okay, all right, pretty much when it's the so-called Middle East, you know, a lot of these countries are pretty much going to align themselves with Russia, man. You know, the scriptures talk about him being a god unto them. You see, so they was pretty much treating Tucker Carlson like some type of hero to be able to sit down and get the truth, you know, and really get inside uh, this leader's head to see basically, you know, where he's coming from, man. You know, they're getting a better understanding of who they align themselves with, man. You see? Okay? But we're not this place here, man. It's no more to be called tender and delicate, man. Okay? This place has nothing but a bad report coming from it, man. You see? It says, take the millstones and grind mill. Uncover the locks. Bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. And pass over the rivers, man. And pretty much, man, this place is being shamed right now, man. Meanwhile, you got these other people like Bill Maher and the likes of Jon Stewart and the Young Turks thinking that they're trying to clown him, but really he's just trying to shame this place to see the stark differences between these other nations, man, that we're pitting ourselves up against, man. And how come that their infrastructure is so much more intact than this place, man? You see? And the people pretty much are seeing this place for what it is, man. And you basically is out there for the world to see, man. Okay, the world is actually seeing that leg being exposed, man. Okay, you see that bare leg, man. You see, right, right. And basically the nakedness is being seen, man. You know, the nakedness is being seen in the sight of the nations, man. Okay, and pretty much Tucker Carlson with that interview, he didn't mince words, man. He's letting them know, the world know. Listen, the cities I live in, that we live in here in Babylon are filthy, man. Are filthy. You see? Okay. Now we're gonna get to Nahum. All right. And pretty much, you know, Nineveh is really like a modern day Babylon, man. You know. But we're gonna go to Nahum, chapter 3. Let's start at 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations to her whoredoms, and families to her witchcrafts, man. You know, and the mojo is pretty much gone, man. Okay, people are pretty much waking up to this well-favored harlot, man. Okay, you see, all right, there's filth under the skirt, man. They're seeing it, man. Okay, all right. And really, he was pretty much in talking about the whole EU as well, man. Not just Babylon, man. The whole West, man. These cities are those cities in pretty much in Western Europe, man, are decaying, man. Okay, you got to remember that the migrant situation started over there way before it started here, man. Okay, you see, it says, verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And that was another example, man. All right, let's hit it again. We gotta hit it again with Tucker Carlson, man. All right, because he's making a point. All right, he's making a point here, and it's in the sight of the nations, man. Okay.
Are you anti-American model?
No, I am the most pro-American. So I'm 54. I was born in 1969. I grew up in a country that had cities like Moscow and Abu Dhabi and Dubai and Singapore and Tokyo. And we no longer have them. And what I have discovered is that's a voluntary choice. My children don't smoke marijuana at the breakfast table. Why? Because I won't allow them. It's very simple. It's a short conversation. No. And you can run your country the same way. We're not going to put up with that. So don't do it. And people understand that. Filth. Graffiti. Paris, one of my favorite cities. New York, one of my favorite cities, are filthy. Part of the reason they're filthy is because people spray paint obscenities on buildings and no one cleans it up. London, another one of my favorite cities. You see English girls begging for drugs on the sidewalk. If I'm Boris Johnson, who briefly and very badly ran that country, I would ask myself, like, wait a second, my countrymen are begging for drugs on the street. Maybe I should do something about that. But no, he'll show up and give some speech about Ukraine and how we need to send, more cluster bombs to the brave Ukrainians. What are you doing?
Okay. And that's what it is, man. And that pretty much, man, he was that was a real stage that form that he's at, man, in Dubai, man. Okay. I pretty much I had watched the whole thing. This is just a short from it, but that was a massive crowd that was there to hear him listen to him about that interview with Vladimir Putin, man. Okay. The world wanted to know the backstory behind it, man. As a honest journalist, okay, that pretty much takes his craft seriously, okay, and the people understand that, okay. There was no spin to it, man. It was just an open and honest interview, man. You see, okay, and he pretty much has gotten a collection of thoughts of what is in this man's head, man. Okay, you see, it is a very powerful man that's on the other side. Which is this place's adversary, man. Okay, you see, and pretty much now, the world knows, man. You see, so it says, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, in the kingdoms thy shame. And they know that this place is on the decline, man. They know this place is pretty much a bunch of filthy cities, man. Okay, they get the news. You see, they get the fact that this place is pretty much in debt. They pretty much know that pretty much countries are dumping the dollar. Okay, they're getting away from the petrodollar. Okay, they understand that this place even though it still has a stronghold on the world economy, they seeing now that the tides are pretty much turning, man. Okay, you see, they the ones that ate that bread pretty much are casting a wound under thee, man. You see, all right. Verse 6, it says, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. You see that? And that's what people are really getting to see that, man. They're seeing that, they're starting to physically see that, man. Okay? And ultimately, those ICBMs is going to be the cherry on top for that, man. You see? All right, verse 7, it says, and it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for her? And this goes hand in hand with Revelation 18, man. Babylon the Great is falling, man. But people are gonna pretty much bewail this place, man. Okay, you see, all right. But pretty much, man. Hey, that leg is being made bare, man. Okay, and people are really seeing this place for what it really is, man. Okay, The Lord is making this place a perpetual gazing stock, man. You see? You know? All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash, Shalom.